Anselm, tell me about your love affair with the violin. When did it begin, and how does it sustain you?
Well, it started off at the age of 6, actually. My father, he was
Walters School of Music.
And so a violinist himself. And I remember my brother having to go and pick 2 pieces of guava sticks for me to be playing with.
To make believe you were playing a violin.
So from there, really, it started. And
I went to a concert a couple of years ago with the National Youth Orchestra and was really very encouraged by what I saw. Do you see more and more young people actually getting involved in that kind of classical formation?
Yes, I do, because more than ever now, you can read a lot about what classical music and learning to play an instrument does for children, especially before the age of 13. If you learn to play an instrument, or even anything to do with the arts, or even sports, it stimulates the brain in such a way that it helps them in their academics, in maths and science, and so. And then the discipline to practice this thing, it goes towards studies as well.
Actually, I remember going to a wedding when you played Ave Maria at that wedding, and everyone in the church was transported. Anselm, maybe you could tell us a little bit about where has the violin taken you? Where have you been? What sort of, maybe you could share some of the moments you had at certain recitals or encounters you've had through the violin. What horizons has it opened up for you in your life?
Well, I must say it has taken me to a number of places abroad. One of the highlights, of course, would be playing in the Netherlands for Prince and Queen.
Queen Beatrix.
Right, and Prince Claus and so on.
At the palace?
At the palace itself.
Fantastic. How did that come about?
Actually, it came about because of an award was being given.
All right.
And an entourage, went up with this group. Actually, Mr. Minchell was being given an award.
Okay.
And
so you went with the Minchell group?
With the Minchell group.
And you played for the Queen and the Prince?
For the Queen and the Prince. And it's, why I say it's one of the highlights of my career is because of the type of, what should I say, appreciation that was given to me, being a violinist coming from the Caribbean.
Think of that. Think of steel pan.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tell me something. How has steel pan, the emphasis on steel pan, impacted on the development of other musical ability in the country? We know that steel pan is taught in all schools, which is a good thing. It's our national instrument. It's a beautiful instrument. But has that been to the detriment of other musical instruments? And what is your take on that?
Well, in a sense, it is a little bit detrimental to the other instruments because, the foundation for all instruments really, as we know, is the piano. Okay, if I'm
you should learn to play
the piano. If I'm studying the violin, okay, I have to have a foundation in piano.
Right.
So similarly with the piano, any other instrument as it were, you should have a foundation with the piano. And you find the piano is not being taught anymore.
But in schools, is there, is piano or guitar or other violin, other instruments available to be taught in most of the schools?
I think it has to do really with the school in particular, the school itself, because the different primary schools that I teach the violin at, it was the principal, as it were, adamant who wanted to have this particular instrument at his school.
Right.
So along with the pan he has at his school, he has.
And then he would have, or he or she would have to raise funds to buy those instruments. It would not be supplied, as it were, from the,
yes. Yeah, but I think there's a grant given towards, the instruments and music in schools now.
But how many young people are you teaching violin to?
I have a number, probably about 30 odd or so students that I have, and that is young and mostly, yes. I have a few people who come from Port of Spain to San Fernando on a weekend for lessons. But I have students.
And they're promising violinists among them?
Yes. Most of them are really, the main thing is having the time to prepare. You practice and you prepare. Anyone can play an instrument really once you have the time and you have your thought and you have
a certain amount of talent.
Well, that could come as well.
Is there anything further you would like to say about the CD and any particular number that you have here that is interesting to share with us? I see you have the Indian song here, and I know I went to a Skiffle Bunch concert once in San Fernando, and there was a beautiful young lady who played an Indian song on the pan, and you could actually almost hear the different Indian instruments. How did you do this on the violin?
Well, actually, it lends itself beautifully to the violin. It's the same sort of. It's the same. That's a plus right there.
Maybe you could play that for us.
And then, the nature of the music, and so it's a love song, an old love song called Janikaha. So it's one piece that maybe the youth may not know it too much, but a lot of the older people.
Yeah, there's a little bit for everybody, and you have Conte Partiro, which is one of my favorites, and my prayer, the prayer, and Stardust and Evergreen. I know I've heard you play Evergreen, and that's so lovely. All I ask of you, beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Well, before we end, Anselm is going to play another
I'll do the prayer for you.
You're going to pray?
I'll do the prayer.
No, we'll end with the prayer. Isn't that lovely?
From the Touch of Love album.
All right. So you see, when you hear this, you can come and hear it back all the time if you buy it for yourself.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for coming, and we just look forward to really hearing this more and more on our airwaves. I hope you can get the radio stations to play it. I know certainly our internet radio station will be playing it.
Thank you very much.
All right, so